National Grid crews are spread out across the area to help as tens of thousands of homes are without power. Plus, trees on houses and power lines, blacked out streets with no traffic lights. We're assessing the damage as this powerful windstorm blows through the North Country. It's a storm that's brought wind gusts of 70 and pushing 80 miles per hour, even stronger than predicted. The wind has buffeted most corners of the North Country tonight. Let's look at the strongest gusts we've seen recorded. At the Watertown Airport, 78 miles per hour. That was just before 10 o'clock tonight. And in Belleville, a 70 mile per hour wind gust hit during the 9 o'clock hour. And also during that hour, Copenhagen saw a 63 mile per hour wind gust near that area. We'll get to John Kubas for a look at the forecast in just a moment. First, though, 7 News reporter Brendan Straub has been out in Watertown covering the storm tonight. He joins us now live on Holcomb Street, where you can see the wind blowing strong there. Uprooted a tree. Brendan.
Hey, Garrett, we're here on Holcomb Street by Bugby Drive. We're going to take a look over here. As you can see, this large tree was uprooted just a few hours ago. I just got done talking to the homeowner. It just missed the house by mere inches. As you can see, she told me it's almost 300 years old. Her and her husband were just in the front room of the home when they heard a large thud. They looked outside. She's a little devastated because it's been here for so long, but she's happy that her and her husband are okay. Some of the other things I saw tonight over on Superior Street, we had a tree that went onto a home. There were some chunks on top of the home, some wires down. There was some family inside. We're unsure if they were told to stay inside or they couldn't even get outside because of the tree in front of their home, but they seemed to be okay. I think one of the eeriest things I saw tonight was over on Arsenal Street. As you drive from the Arsenal Street Bridge to 81, again, that's a large stretch. It was completely dark. We're talking places like KFC, Taco Bell, McDonald's, places that are lit up at night. That entire strip is usually all lit up, completely dark. You had plenty of cars kind of driving through, not really knowing what to do. It was somewhat, I would honestly say, a little bit chaotic, if you say. You have people kind of driving through, not really knowing where to go. So as we continue tonight, I did talk to Jefferson County Fire and Emergency Management Coordinator and Director Joe Plummer this morning. He did tell me that this is going to be kind of what's going on tonight. To please be patient, that things are going to happen, and just let crews, allow them to do what they need to do. Please stay off the roads and allow them to go in, take care of the trees, take care of the limbs, take care of the wires, and allow the power to get back on. As you can hear right now, it's pretty crazy trying to stand here. As you can see, the winds are really whipping around. You kind of have to really hold your feet and make sure you're standing strong because those winds can come through at any time. So again, make sure you're staying off those roads. Again, like I said, make sure you're being safe, staying home, and we'll send it back to you.
All right, that's Brendan Straub reporting from Watertown live tonight. Thank you, Brendan. Let's get our first look at what the wind is doing right now with John Kubas in the Weather Center. John, heck of a storm tonight.
It looks like the worst may be behind us, Garrett, as the numbers as far as those wind gusts have been coming down, at least a bit anyways, over the last hour or so. All right, let's check out the current wind gusts. Watertown, about an hour ago we were at 78. Now we're at 58 miles per hour. That's good news. Upper 40s at Fort Drum, mid 40s in Barnes Corners, and it's even getting a tad breezy, dare I say windy, up in South Russell and Potsdam. Your winds hitting that 30, 35, 38 mile per hour mark. All right, still dealing with a high wind warning in effect, Jefferson County, Lewis County. That's set to expire tomorrow at 10 a.m. A little bit earlier end time, I should say, in St. Lawrence County and up along the river, a wind advisory. Winds won't be nearly as strong up towards Waddington, Messina, I think Ogdensburg, Norwood, Norfolk, but still a bit breezy up there tonight and also tomorrow morning as well. A couple things I am watching. Like I mentioned, those strong wind gusts to 60 mile per hour plus should be winding down just after midnight. Say around 1 a.m. or so. Some rain tonight, some rain tomorrow morning, and then snow tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Tug Hill Plateau, you could pick up easily a couple of inches worth of accumulation. Another large storm on Friday night and Saturday, not as potent as this one, but still it'll give us some rain, some snow, and some gusty winds, and some significant lake snow potentially Saturday night, Sunday, and potentially next week as well. So a very active weather pattern. All right, let's check the maps. First weather, of course, brought to you by Doors Plus in Adams Center. And notice, looks like east of Detroit, there's that area of low pressure rapidly moving up to the north and east, and that's what's responsible for all the winds we've been dealing with over the past couple of hours. So we'll talk more about that low and the weekend too here in a bit. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Well, the strong winds are bringing down trees across the North Country. We've heard multiple reports of trees down across Watertown, including this one on a house on the north side of Watertown. This is at 733 Superior Street. You can see a large branch still on top of the roof there, and part of the tree that's on the ground tangled in a power line. It appears there was not a large amount of damage to the home. And the wind gusts have picked up, so have the number of people without power. You heard at the top of the show, 37,000 people in the North Country. It's an eerie scene on Arsenal Street earlier tonight, dark with no street lights on. It was around 8 o'clock. At first, it was a free-for-all for drivers at several intersections. We heard Brendan Straub talking about seeing this earlier tonight. Those streetlights not working. At last check, though, 22,000 customers in Jefferson County without power. National Grid customers, that is. Lewis County was at 2,700 customers without power, and St. Lawrence County with 8,100 people without power tonight. National Grid does have out-of-town help as it works to get power back on as quickly as possible, and local first responders said they are ready.
We've been through events like this, so now we've kind of got the charts drawn out, learned lessons from previous storms on how to proceed and, what to stage and what to do to prep for these storms.
If you do have power out, Denner says having extra blankets, a flashlight, and extra batteries are all important in case that the power remains out for an extended period of time. Now back to what the storm is doing. The southern part of Jefferson County was the first area tonight where damage and power outages were reported. In Lorain, there were reports of a tree on fire. This power line was sparking as crews worked to repair it. In Adams, Route 11 was temporarily closed after a tree fell on a wire. Then the power pole snapped. The road was reopened around 7:45, but downed trees and power lines have been happening across the North Country and much of the state today, continuing to happen tonight as we come to you live tonight. National Grid staged crews, of course, of its own and teams from third-party contracts across the region ahead of the storm so they could quickly react to these outages. Before damage started happening tonight, we saw crews waiting at hotels across Watertown. They've spent the rest of this evening and tonight going from scene to scene as calls have been coming in. And this picture was sent to 7 from Brittany, showing a large tree blown down and power lines on Boyd Street in Watertown. You can see the tree here with customers in the city without power. More than 20,000, we just told you. Many people have been sending us their photos of storm damage through Send It to 7. If you're going to do that, please be safe as you take any pictures or video. And remember to not go around any downed and live power lines.